Hello, I'm HD Chambers, the Superintendent of Schools for Alief ISD. And I come to you today hoping to share some information as it relates to the opening of our school year, which is Tuesday, August the 10th, and also as it relates to the COVID variant that has been spreading and that most of us have been made aware of. Excuse me. I know that many of you did not think we'd be continuing to talk about this topic as we began the school year, but unfortunately, we are. And as a school system and as a school district, we are doing everything we can do to ensure the safety and the security of our staff, of our children, and our community. So with that, I wanted to give an overview of the positions that our school system is taking as it relates to protecting our most needy and most vulnerable students and our most vulnerable and needy staff members. Many of you are aware, and I have communicated this, and you've probably seen it on the news or you've read it, that school systems have been, the ability for school systems to make some decisions has been removed by the governor. For example, a year ago, we were able to require that all staff, all students wear masks. As we sit here today, that ability does not rest with us anymore. We had the ability a year ago to open a virtual school and to be funded for that virtual school for parents and for children who did not want to attend, or for parents and children who were infected with COVID-19 at the time. We do not have that ability anymore. We can have a virtual school, but the funding to run the virtual school is not there. And as a result, no school system in the state, other than a very small select few, are able to open up a virtual school. So that puts us in a precarious situation. And my message to you today is to let you know what we're attempting to do to protect children and adults, what the expectations are from myself, our school board, and to provide hopefully reasonable rationale for why these positions are being taken. So I'd like to start real briefly and just share with you, last year, during the last school year, there were two things that we know for sure worked in order to protect our staff and our students. The first thing that worked were, for those who began getting vaccinated towards the end of the year, the vaccinations are proving to be effective. And I have conversations consistently with the Texas Medical Center staff, Texas Children's Hospital staff, and everyone that has done research and that continues to monitor the vaccines and the impact it has on both adults and on children, demonstrates that it is a safe and is a proven way to protect yourself. Now, I am aware, as you are, that not every student in our school district, or not every student in school districts across the state of Texas, are eligible to have a vaccine. So the children who are not eligible to have that vaccine are our 4 to 12-year-olds. Now, they're Pfizer and Moderna and Johnson & Johnson and other pharmaceutical companies are working as we speak to run test trials with the age group of 4 or 5-year-old to 12-year-olds to see when and at what point can they actually offer these vaccines to that age group of child. They're not ready yet, and they may not be ready till sometime in the fall, late fall, maybe even as late as the into the winter. So with that in mind, the second thing we learned last year that protected students and staff was that by wearing a mask, the simple act of wearing a mask when you're in a crowded area, i.e. a classroom, hallways, bus, school, and other parts of society, church, grocery stores, restaurants, etc. But wearing a mask is one of the safest things we can do to protect each other. As I mentioned, as a superintendent and as a school board, we do not have the ability to require masks. However, I want to encourage every one of you, and I'm talking to parents and I'm talking to staff members right now. I want to encourage every one of you to please wear a mask when in contact, when dealing with children. Parents, please send a mask with your child to school. We will have masks as well to provide to that child. If you don't have any, or if you forget, we all know kids forget things, they lose things throughout the course of a day. So we will have plenty of masks to provide both adults and children. But parents, I want you to work with us, please, and cooperate with us as we attempt to make sure every child is wearing a mask. Staff, I know there are differences of opinions on masks. I know there are people that are for whatever reason, they have different beliefs about whether they should be told to wear a mask or whether they should have the right or the option to wear a mask. Here's what I'm going to tell you. We have a group of students in our schools, particularly our elementary and intermediate schools, our 4-year-olds through 12-year-olds, that are defenseless right now against COVID. There is no vaccine for them to take. Those who are older than 12, we have the opportunity. We have the choice. Now, if we choose not to take the vaccine, that's on the person who chooses not to do it. But the 4 to 12-year-olds do not have the option. They don't have the ability to. So the parents of those children are quite frankly, they're defenseless as we begin our school year. I am going to strongly encourage you as an adult, a staff member, regardless of what your role is. This includes me. It includes the leadership team that works in the administration building. It includes every adult in this district. I'm going to ask you to think about the unwritten contract. And every one of you know what I'm getting ready to talk about. There's an unwritten contract between me as the superintendent and every parent of every child. There's an unwritten contract between you if you're in the teaching profession, if you're the principal of a campus, if you're in a support role, but every educator, we have unwritten contracts with the parents of our children. And that unwritten contract is boiled down to one simple thing. And it is that we will protect them and we will do no harm to them. Every parent expects that of their school district. Every parent expects that of their child's teacher, of their child's principal, of their child's superintendent, of their child's school board. That's what they expect. It's not written down anywhere. No one signs it. It's just an understanding. And it's been the core fabric of public education since in the history of this country. I do not plan to violate that contract by putting our children, particularly our 4 to 12-year-olds, in a vulnerable position that they cannot protect themselves. Some of you adults, some of you are in a vulnerable position because of your health, because of the other things that are beyond your control. I expect all of us to respect your concern by wearing a mask. So while I can't mandate it, I'm doing everything but mandating it. I want you to know, I expect us to honor the contract between our parents and ourselves. I expect us to honor those unwritten contracts between colleagues. And I expect us as a district to do everything we can do to prevent us from doing any harm to a particular group of children right now, as we sit here today, cannot protect themselves. So I'm hoping that you would agree with this, and I'm hoping that everyone would comply, if you will, with my request that we all wear masks, that we all protect each other, and that we honor that unwritten contract that we have between our community, our families, our children, and ourselves. You're going to hear more from us as we move forward. As I've said in a previous video, I am genuinely excited about this school year. Did I expect to be talking about this topic right now 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago? No, did not expect to. But nevertheless, this is the position we're in. And so we're going to have to make the best of it as we move forward. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your understanding. If you have questions, concerns, don't hesitate to email me, reach out. I'll be happy to visit. If you want to talk to your supervisor, if you want to talk to someone else, please do so. And we will attempt to answer your questions and address your concerns. With that, thank you. God bless God bless every one of you. And here's looking to a great 21-22 school year. Take care of yourselves.